I'm Chris from Play Comics, a show where we look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material, a part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other astonishingly geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 515 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. It's recorded live on Thursday afternoon, February 2nd, 2023. I am Chris, and depending on your opinion of things, I'm happy to say that we have a full house. You may not feel that way yourself, but let's first welcome back the returning wayward son, one Willie Nelson.
Does this mean I get to sing Kansas?
No. Never. Never.
But it's a geographical location.
No. I happen to know that Tony Khan shelled out some pretty hefty money to be able to have that on AEW, and we can't afford that.
Wait, they had Kansas on there? Or just on music in general?
The music in general. The Elite, the trio of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks come out to Wayward Son.
Oh!
Yeah, they think they're supernatural or something.
Well, they kind of were the Wayward Sons after they got suspended.
Why can't we go to the good old days of wrestling when they used when they just copied closely but legally distinct music of other artists?
That's called
back when WWE was all their albums were done by Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
And WCW did it too. Wasn't Diamond Dallas Page?
That's
what
true.
was his song like? What song was his? Like, was a copy of pretty much?
I can't remember, but I would know it if I heard it.
Yeah,
They just had copies.
Well, I mean, in modern wrestling, Tony Storm's theme is a ripoff of Barracuda.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it sounds a lot like. Now I think about it, it's like, oh yeah, that does sound like Barracuda.
It's totally a Barracuda ripoff. Oh yeah, and we didn't introduce him. We just kind of got into chatting about shit. Anthony Bachman's here too.
That's right, Barracuda.
That's what you get for talking out of order.
I'm here to Barracuda, motherfucker.
I'm not into that, sir.
I don't know what
Nobody
that
asked
means,
you.
and I'm concerned.
You need my
what I want.
consent, sir.
No, I don't. You do what I want.
Willie is all about consent.
I do
He's
what
very
I want.
respectful.
You do what I want.
I mean, if someone doesn't want to be with you, why would you want to be with them? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Says
People
the man
are
who
weird.
bear hugged me without my consent.
Okay, that was different. That was just me showing you my love, baby. Without penetration,
Oh.
because you're a lucky one.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, I did penetrate.
No.
I penetrated your soul, not your hole.
No.
Oh yeah, Self High Five was a knockoff of Nirvana's Team Spirit.
That was
DDP, the Self High
Oh.
Five, was a knockoff of Team Spirit.
Okay, I thought it was something. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was part of the guitar riff from Nirvana. I literally had to Google. I'm like, okay, YouTube, DDP,
Oh,
intro,
Brian
WCW. Like, which one is it?
Or Raven. No, I thought Raven came out to or he came out. I thought he came out to Nirvana riff.
I think Raven might have actually came out to a Nirvana song.
No way. There's no way, Mr. Moneybags, TBS. What the Ted Turner? There's no way Ted Turner paid the bucks to them.
Oh, they paid some big bucks in
They had some,
WCW.
yeah,
for
there
stuff.
were some
Never mind.
songs that they paid big money for.
All
Ted
their
Turner
money
would
went to the Nitro Girls, and we know it.
Well, I mean, I don't know how expensive those were.
I don't know. I don't, they were kind of backstabby. If you take the documentary "Ready to Rumble" by heart.
I mean, the thing was, WCW threw a ton of money at things for a while. That's why they were.
Yeah.
That's why the 82 weeks or 86 weeks or whatever it is happened.
All I'm saying, you talk about Nitro Girls, and I'm just saying there's a whole lot of strip clubs in Atlanta.
Willie,
And a lot of them people are out of work.
the 80 plus weeks is how many weeks in a row WCW beat WWF in the ratings.
In the Monday Night
Okay.
Raws.
Yeah,
that makes
Yeah,
Raw
Monday Night
versus
Wars.
Nitro.
Yep.
We don't have those wars anymore. We had a temporary Wednesday night war where AEW won 71 out of 72 matchups.
Wait.
Yeah.
What else? What is WWE putting on Wednesday?
They used to have their NXT show on Wednesday nights.
Yep.
They moved it.
NXT.
Yeah, they moved it to compete, and then they lost, and then tried to be like,
And
well, it
they
was only
moved it
our
again.
developmental.
Yep.
Whatever.
Well,
It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
Well, they also didn't want to take the chance of, well, if we move Monday Night Raw, like it'd be dumb to move Monday Night Raw to Wednesday and then lose. But like they could have moved SmackDown.
Raw would
and
win.
like
You're not going to move SmackDown. It's on basic TV now. Friday night's perfect for it.
sure.
They make a crap load of money being on Fox.
Well, they could have moved SmackDown, but then the problem becomes like if you move SmackDown and then you lose to AEW, then it looks really bad. And so like, well, we'll move NXT to Wednesday because we can. If we lose that, no big deal. We just claim that it's our undercard, and so we don't actually care. Oh, they cared.
Even
they
if
cared
they'd moved
very
SmackDown,
much that they lost to AEW.
SmackDown would have still beat it because SmackDown's on Fox. Fox is in a lot more households than TBS, TNT.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot SmackDown's on Fox now.
Yeah, it's on Fox now. We're gone are the days when it was on the UPN on Thursday nights.
Does UPN still exist?
UPN merged with WB to become CW.
CW.
Oh yeah. That's right.
CW sort of exists, and whoever bought.
Remember 50 years ago when the TV show Supernatural started?
Yeah, right.
And there was a UPN network, and then they just ended that show. Oh, but they started the sequel. The Winchesters will never die.
No, they will, because the new owner of the CW basically wants to turn it into running a bunch of reruns for old people.
I remember the good old days when UPN, you could wake up before school and have some pretty cool cartoons on there, like Sherlock Holmes in the 25th century or something like that.
Warner Brothers had some good cartoon blocks too.
I vaguely remember that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Freak of Me, Freak of You, Freakazoid.
Hell yeah! And then there was Saturdays was Fox Kids dominating everything.
Oh, da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly. Yeah, we had X-Men, Spider-Man, Power Rangers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, all about the same time. Those were all widely popular.
Bad Beetleborgs.
Then they crossed over the Beetleborgs with the Power Rangers once, didn't they?
No.
I'm pretty sure there was a Power Rangers Beetleborgs crossover.
There was
Power
another
crossover with basically everything at some point.
And then the Power Rangers crossed over with that really bad live-action Turtles TV show too.
Yeah, the next evolution.
Yeah,
the next mutation.
Yeah, Power Rangers in Space crossed over with them.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. Hold on. Before we pass by that Ninja Turtles, let's not forget that's when they introduced a lady turtle.
Venus de Milo.
Venus de Milo.
Yeah,
not
the
to
only
be
one
confused with Venus de Milo of Mad TV fame.
Yeah, but the only one to be named after a work of art and not an artist. Which is like, really? That's what y'all gonna go with? You couldn't find a single female painter during the Renaissance to name her after. No, we're gonna name her after the statue. We're gonna name her after the statue that had its arms removed. And its head. Yeah, it's there. I have my art history classes. There were a few female painters during the Renaissance. They may not be as big as the names like Da Vinci and Raphael, but they did fucking exist. They could have chosen one of those names.
We also
it was really bad that they didn't.
Going back to Fox Kids, we also had Bobby's World. That one was great back in
Bobby's
the day.
World. Howie Mandel.
Oh,
Howie
Bobby's
Mandel
World was great.
The uncle was my favorite character.
What was the Louis Anderson one? Was it just called Louis?
Life with Louis.
Life with Louis. No, it was Life with Louis.
Life with Louis. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that one was great.
Well, Louis Anderson. Yeah, he was fantastic.
I wonder if that's
Did you just use his voice for the kid voice? I love that fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you needed to do. It was perfect.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to see if Life with Louis is streaming anywhere, just for shits and giggles, to be honest.
It should be, because, yeah, that show was good. I mean, Bobby's World was great, too. Yeah, Bobby, freaking Howie Mandel doing little Bobby on his a three-wheeler, rolling around, causing trouble. Like, that show was just so much fun and just, like, you know, good-natured, family fun. Like, there was nothing on that show that was, you know, overboard. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was just a sweet show.
I saw it as like a toddler Rugrats.
Yeah,
kind of, yeah. Yeah, it was good stuff, though. I like that.
It does not appear that Life with Louis is streaming anywhere. I'm sorry, guys.
Boo!
I mean, now you could probably go to Dailymotion and be able to find full episodes people have uploaded there, but that's just me guessing. I certainly did not see any in the Google search results for Life with Louis when I searched it.
So I'm just going to say this controversial thing. Louis Anderson is the best Family Feud host. The best.
How's that controversial?
Oh, because fuck Steve Harvey. He's a piece of shit.
Steve Harvey's all right, too. But he's not Louis Anderson.
No. His religious views and his views on gender roles are fucky and
Well,
archaic.
I'm unaware
Uh-oh.
of any of those. I was only judging him from the level of being a host of a
you
game
can't
show.
be friends with a woman without wanting to have sex with her.
Oh, that's completely
They're-
inaccurate.
Platonic relationships, non-existent.
I've had plenty of platonic lady friends.
No. Steve Harvey says you're wrong. In fact, you're so
Well,
wrong.
just because Steve Hardy can't keep his dick in his pants doesn't mean that other people can
It's true.
or can't.
And if you
you
don't
know the
believe
analogy I was
in his
going with.
religion, you have no, and this is his words, moral barometer.
Yeah, I don't think most. Never mind. I'm not going to go down
Where's
a
your
religious
moral
path.
Yeah.
barometer?
Let's not go down a religious path. I'm pretty sure that we've in the past made most of our own individual views.
Oh,
relatively
no, the only
clear.
thing I mean by that is don't say someone else is wrong just because they don't share the same view. You can have differences of views. Just don't say, well, I just can't talk to you because you believe in that. Like, what? No, just stop.
I
man.
believe
Just be
people can
friends.
believe whatever they want so long as it doesn't hurt anyone else.
There you go.
Why can't we be friends?
I mean, honestly, I don't care if you believe in a flying spaghetti monster or a carpenter who's the son of God. It doesn't bother me one way or another. It doesn't hurt me.
Unless you're a flat earther, then stop being stupid.
Sure. Although the
That's
flying
not-
spaghetti
that's
monster
not-
does look pretty cool.
And flat earther is not a belief system. It's a lack of education, is what it is.
Is it though?
As someone who's actually gone on a boat and gone halfway around the globe, yeah, it's a lack of education. I literally took a slow boat back from China. It took 3 weeks.
You see, here's the
The
thing that
world
everyone
is
gets
not
wrong.
flat.
The world's not flat. The world's not round either. What the world is a torus. That's what it is. And I don't mean the shape. I mean it's a bull shape.
I thought you meant it was my
Taurus.
crappy old car that I had before my Saturn.
You know what? Fuck it. It's a Ford Taurus shape.
I used to drive a Ford Taurus also.
It's a 92 blue Ford Taurus. That's what the world is.
Or an
I
03,
believe
because
it's
that's what I
shaped like
had.
a Pikachu. You're all wrong. I live right here at the tail.
That new Inside Job show. They said that the world it's hollow with a cork, and so that's how people used to find the edge of the world, was when the cork wasn't there, you could fall into the earth, but they had to put a cork in it.
Where's the cork?
It's out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
It's in the cork hole.
Yeah, it's in the cork hole, which is what keeps it corked.
You know,
Yeah.
I might have been there a time or two. I'm not sure.
No, we said cork hole.
Oh,
Cork.
I know. Oh, I heard
Yeah.
you perfectly clear.
And he's been there. He's been there.
I might have rimmed around in a time or two. Let me tell you.
I don't know what. I don't want to know what he's equating. Never mind.
I don't even know.
We're going to have to hit the red alert button if this keeps up.
Hey, you wanted me back, and here I am.
Did anyone actually say that?
I did just now.
I think so.
Okay, that's fair.
Really wanted
Quote
himself
me
back?
on it.
Quote me, bitch. Willie Nelson.
No, that's capital BITCH, bitch. It's capital bitch.
Capital bitch.
And you can get your own Quote Me, bitch t-shirts at ATGNgear.com. No, we don't actually own that. I have no idea if anyone does.
Need to get it though. We need ATGN shirts.
Yeah, for the whole one person that might buy one.
Damn
I can't
right.
wait for the 3-cent commission we get off of that.
Damn right. And there'll just be money
We're
I'm giving back
splitting
to
that three
myself.
ways, right?
Yep, a penny
A
each.
penny a piece for all my penny
Yeah.
pinchers.
Odds are it's just going to be Jana buying the shirt so that her kid can wear it because she won't even wear it.
I mean, if
But
they're
we'll
cheap
sell
enough, I
one.
guess I could always use some more rags.
There you go. I mean, I'm painting now. I always need more rags.
Yeah, see, problem solved.
Indeed. Yeah, see, all them little paints.
Before we get into the news, Willie, did you get the Deadpool DLC for Midnight Suns yet?
I did. And there's a line in it I had to take a screenshot of. One of his voice lines is subtitled too, of course. One of the lines is, "Why don't you take me out to dinner before you peg me like that?"
Whoa.
I was like, I wasn't expecting that to be in here. Oh, and by the way, Deadpool is voiced, like in every video game version, he is voiced by Nolan North, a.k.a. Nathan Drake himself.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play the Deadpool DLC yet.
Oh, but you got it and you playing it.
Yes, I do have
How
the
you
game.
liking it?
I like it so far. I've only done very, very early stuff. Like I just beat Venom.
But you know the
and got
core
my own-
mechanics.
yeah.
You got how that works.
I am
how
enjoying
you think you
it.
like that?
I am enjoying it. I do like it.
Good.
I didn't play any video games other than Marvel Snap for like the last week though, so I'm kind of slacking.
I can't wait for it to be Morbin time in Midnight Suns.
Willie's going to be Morbin everywhere.
I mean, that's a little disgusting, but here we are.
What are you talking about? You're going to take your Power Morber out and you're going to say Morbius and you're going to turn into the Morbius Ranger.
I don't think I appreciate where this is going.
You don't want to be a Power Ranger?
There's always a catch in there.
Probably, but think of the power you could have in a giant robot you could go around in.
So if I do the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, does that mean I just instantly get fighting techniques in my brain? Like, I know Kung Fu.
This isn't the Matrix.
That's where I was going.
I know, but it's not the Matrix. It just makes you stronger and faster and more agile. You'll just have to figure it out yourself for Kung Fu maneuvers.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, bad guy. I know I just knocked you to the ground. Excuse me while I see that femur snap. Am I abusing my power? I don't know, but he ain't walking again.
Problem solved.
He ain't destroying Angel Grove. What do I care? This is where Batman's such a bitch. Just break femurs, and then the henchmen can't work for them.
Well, I mean, Frank Miller Batman kind of did break
That's
bones.
true.
And, yeah.
Well, Frank Miller Batman also had Nazi nipple pasties, so...
Also true.
Yeah, and he fought those Nazis.
And he punched Nazis
yeah.
like he was supposed to.
I'm just surprised they put that in that animated movie. Kudos to you for having the balls to do that, HBO. Or not HBO, Warner Brothers, technically, yeah.
Hey, but we're talking about Warner Brothers and DC superheroes and stuff like that. I think that's a nice little segue over to our news of the week, because I'm pretty sure we got that there, too.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the News of the Week. It's the part of the show where we run down some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the last week or so. Share it with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date. And we teased it. We do have some DC, some Warner Brothers related news. I'm going to toss things over to Mr. Bachman.
All right. So, yeah, unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of days, you would have seen somewhere either on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or in the thousands of articles that have come out afterwards revealing James Gunn unveiling the DCU's God and Monsters phase, which I know Empire wrote it as phase. I remember he specifically in the video, he calls it Chapter 1. So they're doing what they can to try to say, hey, we're going to try to follow what Marvel did, but we're not going to do anything the same. And so it's not a phase, it's the first chapter. And the DC universe is going to start off with a chapter that they're calling Gods and Monsters. It's going to be, for those that don't know, James Gunn and Peter Safran have been put in as the co-leads now for creating the DCU, basically. So we've had the MCU for a while. DC has suffered from the fact that you had different voice actors doing, this cartoon character over here versus this person in a video game versus a different actor playing them on a TV show and another actor playing that same character in a different movie. And so in his announcement, James Gunn said one of the things they're going to try to do is make a cohesive DC universe, including, and he listed movies, TV, video games, and cartoons. And then anything that isn't part of the main DCU will be blatantly labeled as Elseworlds, which, if you don't know, is what DC calls their version of What If. So anything that doesn't fit in the main universe, so you've got Matt Reeves Batman is going to be its own universe that's an Elseworld story. You got that Todd Phillips Joker and its crap sequel that's coming out will also be its own separate Elseworlds that's not connected to anything. The other projects that are coming out are basically all designed to be part of a big cohesive universe. So they're pretty much trying to tackle the idea of doing what Marvel did, starting with Iron Man, leading up to the Avengers, and giving us a world where everything, like if there's a Batman over here, that same Batman's going to show up over here. And then from what James Gunn is saying, if he then shows up in a cartoon, it will be voiced by the actor playing that main Batman. And so we're going to see, hopefully, what sounds like a much more cohesive universe. And then, I think we should start with the bad thing. What they did was double down on a movie that James Gunn and apparently Peter Safran have both referred to as a fantastic film, which is after Shazam Fury of the Gods, we're going to get The Flash with Ezra Miller, which is supposed to reset the DCU and basically be the jumping off point for all of this new universe they're going to build. And so I'll be honest, it's the one time it feels like James Gunn is like towing the corporate line and saying what probably Dater Zaslav told him to say and calling the movie fantastic, which I did get a good kick out of the fact that he called the Blue Beetle movie that's coming out marvelous, which, I mean, that's just funny. But yeah, I don't know. They're doubling down on the Ezra Miller movie because it's going to be the reset point. And so we know it's a Flashpoint movie. We know they're going to use it to basically wipe the Snyderverse away, start over with the new DCU. And then after that, we're going to get a bunch of good stuff. But I mean, you guys have thoughts on Safran and Gunn basically doubling down on the Flash?
It's what they've been doing the entire time. Just because of how Warner Discovery has continually pushed that, ignored any controversy, it makes it seem strange to me that they kind of gloss over it. And the extent I think we got out of is Peter Safran said the door's not shut on Ezra Miller returning. They're going to rehab and working on getting themselves in a better place mentally or something to that effect.
Yeah. I get that part. And then you come back 10 years from now after an apology tour and you're allowed to work again. You don't get to keep working while you're being a piece of shit.
I mean, this is a guy that had two separate franchises at Warner Discovery, because remember, he was also a main character in the Fantastic Beasts movies, which they're not making any more of because people stopped caring for it near as much as they thought they would. And then
that was him?
Yeah, he was the Obscurial in it.
He was the main guy in the Fantastic Beasts movie? That was
the
same?
That was
not the
Farrell.
main guy. No.
Oh. Who the hell was he then?
He was the Obscurial. I only watched it once, and I don't really remember a ton of it.
He was like a super powerful magic child that basically Grimwald was trying to get a hold of to take down.
Oh, in the sequels. I always saw the first
he was in the first one, too.
He's in the first one as part of it, but yeah, he's the main focal point in the second one. But yeah, he's the thing that Grindelwald's trying to get a hold of to basically take down all the other wizards. He's like, if I can get this powerful kid on my side, we can kick everybody's ass.
But regardless, Ezra Miller and the actions that they've undertaken over the past, 18 months we've been talking about all the different controversies that have come up.
It's been a while.
How is it you still have people and companies that aren't just like, nope, we're piecing the fuck out on this? Whereas...
Well, and especially when it's a company that has canned multiple films for tax write-offs where there was nothing problematic about the production whatsoever. And just went, oh, we don't give a shit. We'll take $20 million in a tax write-off.
Interesting you mentioned that. I'm probably paraphrasing, and I hope it's mostly correct in how I paraphrase it, but the effect of it was that Safran had said he saw the Batgirl movie, and then it was canceled for a reason. There's a bunch of talented people and stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't come together or something like that was what they had said on there.
And that does happen too, and if so, I mean, that's super sad, but it's like, ugh.
The movie was how close to being done? Come on, it was a tax write-off. It was not because they looked at the movie and decided, oh, this isn't coming together well, because it's Hollywood. When that happens, they go and do reshoots and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, and the test screenings apparently were on par with other movies they've released, so you can't really say that it was that bad. And yeah, you throw an extra $5 million at it, you do 2 reshoots over a couple of months, and everything's better. Like,
look,
what the hell?
I, for the most part, I like the stuff that Gunn talked about in the Twitter video where he's discussing what their plans are. I'm really curious to see what he does with a Superman that's already an established Superman. We're not doing the origin story, anything like that again. That'll be nice because it's been forever since we had Superman that wasn't just the origin story or Superman tacked on other properties. But
true. So and he did a list of things. So here's the good stuff. So we got part of I guess probably the main monster part of the Gods and Monsters chapter is apparently the first that they're going live with in the initial titles is a TV animated series of creature commandos with Weasel, Frankenstein, a bunch of other monster characters in it, which according to Gunn are going to be voiced by the actors that would then possibly play them if they did a live action version of any of these characters going forward. We've got a cartoon coming out for that. Off of a Peacemaker, the series, we're going to spin off some of the Peacemaker characters with Viola Davis getting her own Waller show. So Amanda Waller is going to get her own TV show that's going to have Task Force X members in it, which, if you got that person running Task Force S, I mean, I could see them easily be able to shift the story to the person actually running it. Because that one Suicide Squad movie, some of the good parts in it were the Amanda Waller parts, whether that movie was great or not.
True.
Like her her parts in it are great, and Viola Davis is an amazing actress.
I think we
so
vastly
we know she can carry a movie.
I think they're overestimating how much the public at large cares about the Suicide Squad. And I don't mean that to be a slight. I mean, I know there's a video game and stuff coming out too, so it's nice cross collaboration there, but the Suicide Squad is not the Justice League. It's not the X-Men. It's not the Avengers. It's not the Justice Society when it comes to name recognition and stuff like that. Now, do I think it'll be cool? Yes, but I don't think it's going to be a monster success. And I guess on streaming it doesn't have to be either, though. It just needs to be deemed successful. It doesn't have to bring in all the bucks. So
from hearing that the show is going to be overseen by Crystal Henry, who is a writer on Watchmen, that Watchmen TV show was amazing.
It's true.
Oh,
So you get a writer of that caliber telling an Amanda Waller. That's what got me hyped, because I was like, that Watchmen show was amazing, start to finish. If you get a writer of that caliber running an Amanda Waller show with Viola Davis starring in it, like, I'm interested. Yeah, it may not be like as action packed as we would maybe hope it would be, and yeah, the Suicide Squad are not the Justice League, but hell, if anything, right now I think the Suicide Squad might have more name recognition with the general public than the Justice League. With the game, with the multiple movies, with James Gunn's name on the new Suicide Squad movie, like, it's possible. And then, yeah, kicking off the new DCU after The Flash, we do get the new Superman Legacy, which, yeah, a James Gunn written Superman movie, I'm in. Like, that's so easy.
Well, you already got that. Brightburn.
Yeah. Well, this is the good version.
Didn't he
not
just
the mean
produce?
version.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he did with it.
He produced it. It was
Who
his
wrote
brother. I think it was his brother. One of his other brothers wrote and directed or something.
How many brothers this motherfucker got?
Oh, there's a whole lot of guns out there.
Everyone's my brother.
I know
man.
there's a lot of guns out there.
I know. But yeah, so it'll be cool to see what he does with the Superman movie. It's just one of those funny things. It's like they haven't even cast their Superman, and we have a release date of July 11, 2025. This whole work backwards from the release date thing is so ridiculous. But, I mean, we know that's how just companies do it now. And it'll be interesting. Yeah, I just want to see what James Gunn does with Superman. Like, he made people care about Star-Lord. If you'd read any of the comics back in the day, nobody gave a shit about Star-Lord. And he made a whole lot of people really care about Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon and a talking tree.
I mean, if you ask Thor, no one still cares about Star-Lord.
Yeah, well, that's because it's his crew and his ship.
You mean the rabbit? That's who we're talking about, right?
And the rabbit. And then after that, we're going to get what is he called a version of True Detective hunting down a mystery in Precinct Earth on a show called Lanterns that's going to star Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. So we're getting at least 2 Lanterns as the main characters, done as a detective story where they're going to be finding out about something that's part of the overarching storyline that they're adding to this new DCU with their with the new cohesive universe. So we're going to get a Lantern show that he described as True Detective with lanterns. Like, okay, like that could be very cool. I mean, I know why they're going with Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. I'm just going to be happy if my boy Kyle Rayner shows up because let's be honest, he's the best GL ever.
Is this the one that Greg Berlanti's doing?
I don't know. In the article about this, it doesn't mention who's actually working on it. You would hope it's Greg Berlanti.
Because he had been pitching the Green Lantern. Supposedly he signed a deal to do a Green Lantern show. So I'm guessing that's what it is, but I don't know.
Could be. And, I mean, we know Berlanti's so good. So at some point, Gunn and Safran are going to put Berlanti on a project. Like, there's no way he doesn't end up doing more DC stuff because he showed that he could build an entire cohesive universe on television, even using characters that he basically was told from the beginning he couldn't use by working towards them telling the right story. Like, the guy's a genius and a hell of a showrunner. At some point, we're going to get some more Berlanti, which is awesome. The one that shocked me was the one he mentioned after that, is that they're going to get the Wildstorm DC imprint. After DC Comics bought Wildstorm, Jim Lee's imprint from Image, they own the Authority, which is what if the Justice League were willing to just murder any problem that got in their way. And so we're going to get an alternate Justice League before we get a Justice League, which, all right, I can see where they're going there. I do wonder if they're going to stick to like how all the characters actually behaved in that comic, because it is one of the most violent comics ever. It was like way over the top violence, but there were really good stories that were told with the Authority. So, I mean, if they pick and choose a really good one, like there's some really cool stuff they could do with that. And I'll be honest, I just want to see the Midnighter on screen. I want to see who plays that character and how they do his ability. Like, because for those that don't know, the Midnighter is kind of the Batman analog, but he has basically a combat computer that was put in his brain that allows him to see how any fight would happen 1,000,000 times before he actually fights you. So he looks at you and sees 1,000,000 ways to beat you and then chooses one of them and proceeds to beat your ass, no matter who he's fighting. And so I want to see how that power is portrayed in a live action show, because that's just going to be unique. Any thoughts on the Authority?
I'm not really that familiar with them, so it'll be interesting. I don't know.
Willie, have you read any of the Authority?
No, but you said some of the most violent, more than The Boys, more than Wanted,
It was on par. Yeah. I mean, maybe not more than Wanted, because also, I mean, The Boys and Wanted also have the grotesquerie about it. The Authority was more just violence, where like Apollo, the Superman analog, if there's a bunch of people taking a bunch of people hostage, he would just fly through the hostage takers and they just turn into viscera. So it wasn't as much about like gore and nastiness as The Boys can be sometimes, but it was just lots of ultra violence. And yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any member of the Authority that isn't a murderer like 10 times over. Like, they're all kind of crazy. The one that seemed like kind of a shot, which I don't know, it's weird. It's the first one that comes to mind to me that'll be the one that gets canceled, is apparently we're going to do a TV show, Paradise Lost, based on Themyscira. So it's Game of Thrones with only women, because it's going to be the Amazons.
Oh, I was getting it mixed up in my head. Paradise Falls, which is that shitty animated show on Netflix.
No.
Oh
Paradise
my god, I was like,
Lost.
I had the right wires, but they were like, something ain't right here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about, they're going to use this as the introduction of the new Diana, our new Wonder Woman. But it seems like, I don't know, it seems to me like this would be the first one that gets cut after that character is introduced. They're like, yeah, no season 2. We've introduced the character. Now she's on in the movies, and we don't need it. Because I mean, how many Game of Thrones-like shows can they have on HBO before they cancel them all? Like,
no offense to Gal Gadot, but can we get Wonder Woman who's a bit more strong?
More buff?
Yeah, more mass.
I get it. I mean, she is a badass. She was an Israeli fighter. Like, she's an actual trained, badass. Yeah, she's great. But yeah, it would be interesting to see someone a little more buff in that role. And they don't have to be
Don't tell.
It doesn't have to be a giant person. But I mean, yeah, Wonder Woman should look like she can beat Superman's ass. Like, that's what I want to see. The next one they announced was they're going to do The Brave and the Bold, which was weird because that's what they're calling the show, but it's actually just going to be Batman and Damian.
Yeah.
So it's the Bruce Wayne Batman and Damian. Yep, they're going to put the little assassin on there, which it seems like this is one, because as he was talking about it, this is one that Gunn kind of lit up about talking about Damian. And there was some good stuff in the Grant Morrison run, and that team up is really cool because Damian is his actual son. So you get a Robin that is the actual son of Batman.
Wait, did they actually take paternity tests? Did they
Yes.
ever take paternity tests for that shit?
Yeah,
I don't trust that.
Yes,
I don't trust any Al Ghul.
And Maury said, "You are the father." When it was all
Yeah.
said and done,
They brought Maury into this.
they got to
they
bring
did.
Maury Povich in. Who else do you bring in for paternity tests?
Yeah, so it's interesting because we're gonna get like a young teen, a young adolescent, assassin trained Damian in live action. I'm interested to see who they cast in that, how that's gonna play out on a show, because I mean that's interesting.
It's Willie Nelson. He's Damien.
It's Willie Nelson. It's a tall Damien. Weirdly, then after announcing The Brave and the Bold, they decided that they're going to do a show starring a member of The Brave and the Bold, but he's not going to be The Brave and the Bold show. His own series is going to be led by Booster Gold. And sadly, I think at this point, Nathan Fillion is too old. And so I don't know how they're going to cast that. Like, it's just sad. But yeah,
that just reminded me of Jingle All the Way. It's like, no one likes you, Booster. Get out of here.
There you go. But as Gunn described it, as the ultimate imposter syndrome in superhero form, Booster Gold, who steals future tech and travels back in time just to basically be popular and be a hero, and then throughout his career ends up becoming a hero. But he's not really a good guy when he starts, and so it'll be fun to see how they do that. And good luck to whatever actor gets that role, because you got to nail some serious comedy. You got to be a goof, and you then eventually have to become like a badass hero. But there's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on there. We are also getting a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is going to be the more sci-fi based Kryptonian story, apparently based on the new Tom King story, which I haven't read. So I don't know about that one, where it's going to be where Kara Zor-El was raised on a chunk of Krypton that was like somehow not destroyed during the explosion.
How many chunks of Krypton are there that wasn't there? There seems like
as
3.
many as you need to tell the story you're telling.
Exactly.
That's what fiction's all about.
Whatever.
Yeah, and then the last one, which I was really excited about, though, I mean, it's sad that my man Wes Craven's not here to see it. Apparently, they're going to bring back Swamp Thing and do a horror-themed origin story for Swamp Thing in the DCU that will be part of the overarching DC universe. So I think now that, because Teen Titans did introduce the Red, we may actually see like a live-action TV show version or movie version of the Green, which is all plant life throughout reality. The Red is the realm that connects all living creatures. It's where Beast Man,
Teen Titans or Titans?
Titans, yeah. Titans.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's where Beast Boy and Animal Man get their access to the Animal Matrix. It's from the Red.
That's why his skin's green? That's why?
No, his skin's green because of the thing that his mom injected him with. But the green is the Swamp Thing version of it, where it's where all plant life is connected throughout all of reality. And so they may be using Swamp Thing, introducing him to the DCU as a way to continue on that theme of the Red and the Green, which are two warring factions, because they've introduced the Red in Titans, but we haven't seen the Green yet. So it'd be kind of cool to see if they go forward with that. But just also the idea of getting a horror like infused Swamp Thing in live action again, hell yeah. Because that last show they did was great, but the sets were way too expensive to keep, a bog, like alive and looking like a swamp inside of a studio. So the fact that they're going to go forward with another Swamp Thing, I'm excited because the last one was good. I love the old ridiculous Wes Craven movies. Like, those were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
They were fun to watch.
I just hope it's better than that shitty... Does anyone remember Man-Thing on Sci-Fi?
Yeah, vaguely.
The Man-Thing...
Yeah, I know no one remembers that piece of shit movie because it was so dumb.
Also, Man-Thing is Marvel, not DC.
Oh, I know, but I mean, Swamp Thing, Man-Thing, come on. They're the same thing.
Kind of. Well,
point out the differences.
Swamp Thing and one's a Man-Thing. One's a Swamp Thing, one's a Man-Thing, so they're not the same thing.
You know what I mean. They're close to the big, big green things that protect a location.
But then, after that, and Gunn emphasized there will be basically the Elseworld stamp. So if you bought the comics, they used to have a big stamp on one of the opening pages that had Elseworlds written on it, which told you this is a DC story that does not take place in DC main continuity. So you got stuff like Batman Gotham by Gaslight. You got, what was the JLA The Nail? Like, all these different stories that have been told that are amazing. The Red Sun, where Superman lands in Russia instead of in the U.S. and becomes a comrade Superman. Like, they have these amazing stories that have been told in the DC universe that aren't part of the main storyline because they are Elseworlds, which, like I said, it's just their version of What If. But, there's some really good stuff in there. And this is good because it makes it to where they have to do the branding correctly because they haven't had it yet in the shows, in the movies, in the video games where does this take place in the same world? Is this the same? Does that Batman there go with this Batman there? And it seems like they're finally going to streamline, categorize and label shit correctly for the general public because, people that grew up reading these comics understand it, but people that have no clue and just went and saw Todd Phillips' Joker might have been waiting for Batman to show up and didn't know why the hell he wasn't there. I mean, I don't know why you would have. Because
that bad.
It was pretty freaking. It was incel with face paint. Like, it was awful.
Yeah, but that's what they were going for.
Yeah, so then go do a movie called Clown and don't call it The Joker. It had nothing to do with the Joker. Like, nothing.
You don't know that.
Well, since Todd Phillips came out and said it had nothing to do with any comic book reference, I do know that.
I'm watching Willie try and double down on this, and it's pretty funny.
No, I agree. I don't like people the people who create something but then just ignore the source material. Don't be that guy. Don't be that dumb.
Claim that their thing has nothing to do with the source material. Then don't call it the Joker. Call it Clown, because it had nothing to do with Batman or the Joker or anything to do with the Bob Kane idea of the universe that Bill Finger created.
I don't give a shit about that.
Well, I do because Bob Kane gets all the credit.
It doesn't have to be tied to what they create. I mean, tied to the Batman whole story. I mean, yes, they created, but I mean, it has evolved since then. It's not their thing anymore. I know, you know what, in the sense I mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll just give you the finger, and we'll move on because that's the end of the James Gunn story.
Oh my, it's the first time.
You never forget your first time, though, Willie.
It ain't even the first time Willie's been fingered on this podcast.
Chris is the best at it.
I was just going to let the silence sit there.
All right,
Oh.
so before we move on to the next story, I just saw this pop up on the internet's rest in peace, Lanny Poffo evidently just passed away this afternoon. The Macho Man's brother. You might know him as the Genius in WWF.
How many brothers did he have? Just the one?
I think he was just Lanny, but I'm not 100% sure.
As what was it? Oh, what was
I
his
remember that
character?
last name. That was
Leaping Lanny Poffo? Was that it?
And he might have done that one.
At one point?
The Genius was the one that he was most known for, from what I recall.
Yeah, when he had like the clipboard
Yeah.
that had like his diploma on and he would smack people with.
Yep.
Which, yeah, I just remember being so weird because he was the Genius and he would come out wearing a cap and gown like he had just graduated. Like, it was the strangest outfit they put him in.
Dude, 80s wrestling,
was-
man. It's all
Yeah,
cocaine-fueled
it's true.
weird stuff.
And
Hey,
no,
I'm
no.
a taxi driver. I fight you. Yeah, we get it.
And Willie's a taxi driver. He'll fight us.
Mhm.
Well, no. When they're like a taxi driver, the Brooklyn
You're thinking of
Brawler.
the Brooklyn
Yeah.
Brawler.
Yeah.
He looked like a taxi driver. Am I so far off
But
base with
you
that?
know who Willie does want to fight, though, everyone? Electronic Arts. He wants to
Oh,
fight
yeah.
them bad.
No, I just want to burn him alive.
Okay, fair enough. He also wants to do that, but why do I bring that up? Well, you might know EA is the maker of some games like, I don't know, Apex Legends, which is wildly popular. But one of my favorite franchises they had, Titanfall. The Titanfall 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games. The story mode on Titanfall 2 is great. It routinely goes on sale. You can buy Titanfall 2 for less than $5 oftentimes. So if you haven't played it, go play it. It's great. It's a shooter where you get to jump in a giant robot mech and blow things up. It's a great game. Go and play it. Go and play it. Go and play it. Why do I bring that up? Because I, like many others, have wanted a sequel to 2016's Titanfall 3. A lot of us were hoping, it might happen because it was critically acclaimed, but where they released it in the calendar was like right in between Call of Duty and Battlefront, I think, or Battlefield. So it just got crushed and destroyed. So while it is critically successful, financially, it was less successful. And then we saw Apex Legends come out of Respawn Entertainment, which has been a big money maker for them. And then also the Jedi Fallen Order games, also done by Respawn. So they've had a lot of other successes. But the hope was they might come back and do another shooter/Titanfall game. Well, supposedly they were. That's the good news. Here's the bad news coming out of Bloomberg. EA canceled a secret single-player game set in the Titanfall Apex Legends universe that was in development at Respawn. This is the second time the Titanfall sequel was canceled. Second.
When are you people going to learn? When are you going to people stop? Vote with your dollar, man. Just stop buying EA bullshit. And guess what? You won't be getting any EA bullshit much longer after that.
So the company
Make them
did say
starve.
the company did say the 50 developers that were assigned that spinoff, they are going to attempt to reassign them to other projects within the company before potentially exploring layoffs for them. So hopefully they're able to find positions for those folks within EA. But yeah, let's be honest here. The math behind this means we're probably not going to see another single-player shooter like this anytime soon because Respawn/EA is making money hand over fist when it comes to Apex Legends right now because it's wildly popular. There's microtransactions. It's a living game. It constantly keeps growing and evolving. People keep throwing cash into it versus just spending their $60 once and calling it a day. Then you've also got the other side of the house where EA has all of these sports games that are basically microtransaction in the game. So they can release that for $60 and then not necessarily everyone will do microtransactions, but enough people do that they make a crap load of money off of microtransactions. So a single player shooter game, they cancel it because when you look at the bottom line, if you can even break even, you're going to be lucky because of the nature of the games anymore. And they're probably not able to microtransaction that well enough to be able to make it continue and grow. Because let's be honest, in a shooter, who cares what kind of art color armor you have, or if you have some funny little widget hanging off your gun? It doesn't change the way the game plays. So yeah, no Titanfall sequels. This is the second time they've canceled one. I'm really bummed, but I'm not really surprised because that's not where the money is anymore. We don't see a lot of great single player games anymore.
I'm sorry, what?
We do see some, but not a lot. Those are the
sorry,
exception of the norm, Willie.
I would highly disagree with you. Highly disagree.
Look at the market trends. What do you see more of? Microtransaction
God
laden
of
living
War,
games?
Spider-Man, Stray even.
Yep.
That was even was that even considered indie?
And how
That
many
still did game
and how many
busters.
games came out that were microtransaction games at that same time? It's probably like 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's
Doesn't
not
make it
quality
right.
single player games out there, but the emphasis in the industry is no longer on that, it seems.
Sorry,
like.
it's pronounced emphasis.
I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I like the way you jiggle that emphasis.
Oh, gross.
Talking to you, Chris.
Gross.
Bachman's got a bone emphasis.
Oh, and I guess evidently they are also canceling the Apex Legends mobile game. That'll stop being available like at the end of this month, I think. So
Was it just a mobile version of it?
It was just a mobile version.
Fair enough.
So that will no longer exist after the end of this month. But
EA, we do you bad. We get it.
We do what we want to make money, and we don't care about the consequences.
Yeah, EA, extra asshole.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just really bummed because I love the Titanfall games. Titanfall 2 was great because if no one knew, Titanfall 1 was just a multiplayer game. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But Titanfall 2 is where it was only multiplayer.
I didn't know that about it because it was only on Xbox.
It was only on Xbox. And then
or PC too, I think.
When Titanfall 2 came out, they added a single player campaign that was really fun and it was challenging.
Yeah. What was the Titan's name that you get?
BT 402 or something like that.
Yeah, like that mech is fantastic. Like they told a story with an AI that made you like befriend an AI during the course of the game. Like it was such a well told story.
I mean, seriously, guys, it goes on sale digitally for $5 or less all the time. If you haven't had a chance to play it, it's really good. Here's
Titanfall 2 is fun.
All right, here's the first thing I'll do on this. We'll see how much our listeners are paying attention. The next time it's on sale for less than $5 or $5 or less, first 2 people to DM me on Twitter, I'll buy it for you.
Oh shit!
Well, hold on. Find it in a game shop, a physical game shop.
You won't be able to buy a new
EA,
copy
don't
anymore.
give them a goddamn dime of your money.
Okay.
Fuck EA, make them starve.
You're
Buy
not wrong.
Used.
But there is something to be said for digital convenience. Also, if you're an Xbox gamer, it's on
100%.
Game Pass, so you don't even need to go buy it as part of your Game Pass subscription if you have it.
There you go.
I got a physical copy over there on the shelf.
I have a physical copy on my shelf too, but since it's on Game
Got that
Pass, I don't even have to
physical
get the
copy
discount.
on your ass in a second, baby.
What?
That took a quick
Chris,
turn.
you're just cute. Take the compliment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's keep on going.
You brought a smile to an old man's face, Willie.
Wait till I tug that beard, baby.
Oh.
Hopefully it's your own beard.
I'll wait till they get intermingled then.
Oh. Now it's making me think of The Last of Us.
It
I was
is. It
thinking the
really
same
is.
I couldn't stop thinking that when I saw that. I was like,
It's a lot of beard.
Do the
It's
beards
a lot
ever
of beard,
like
man.
hook?
Are the beards like Velcro where you just get stuck together?
I mean, like you put some in there, some are just gonna go wild and just move around. You know how these things work? We don't know how they work.
Well, Willie, for science, you'll have to find out for us.
I guess I'm going to West Virginia then.
All right, come on up. I got a spare bedroom. You can hang out for a little bit.
I'm not gonna do that joke. Let's just move on.
All right, let's wrap up the news. Willie D, what you got for us, buddy?
So, for the listeners out there, you might have remembered I had mentioned in the past that I gotten a modded Wii for one purpose. And that's because of a Wii game that if you want to find a copy of it, it's about $250 if you can find it, and that's probably disc only too for this Wii game. And I've never got it to work. Don't know. I can't find anyone who mods systems and could help me out with it or anything in the area. So whatever. But there's good news. A wild trailer came out last week. It was for the game I've been looking for, Dokapon Kingdom. And it's coming out for the Switch. Remade for it. And it looks so good. I'm so happy and excited for it. You get the king who sounds like this. So fucking. It's pretty much a think of like a Dungeons and Dragons and Mario Party merged together. That's the best way to describe it. Combat's done in kind of like a paper, rock, scissors type of thing. But yeah, the whole thing is like there's a big, massive board that you can move where you want to in it after you roll. Or I think they don't have a dice. I think they have like a little spinner thing. Use a little spinner, move out the places. And you have to save towns. Once you save a town, it's pretty much yours. You get money for it at the end of every full revolution of a turn. And this game, one thing lasts multiple sessions. You're not going to be beating it in one sitting unless you're just sitting there for like 48 hours with you and your buddies.
Are you going to sit there for 48 hours, you and your buddies, and play this game?
Don't tip me for a good time, my friend. Don't tempt me like that.
So, actually, side note, as you're discussing this, when you got your modded Wii, how much did you play this game on the modded Wii?
Oh, I couldn't get it to work.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I mean, not the Wii. I tried downloading, so I never really used the Wii. Still
Gotcha.
have it in a box somewhere. I never got to work.
That's fair. I was just curious.
But yeah, I'm super excited. Dokapon Kingdom Connect, I think is what it's called. Not like the Xbox Connect with the spelled correctly.
Nobody was thinking about that anymore.
I know.
It's past the cultural zeitgeist.
I just wanted to kick the Connect down because no one gave a shit about that.
The tech was cool. It just wasn't.
I mean, it's awesome when you turn on that night vision thing. You saw all the dots on everyone. Like, that's cool.
It was cool. Like, honestly, the coolest thing about the Kinect was when I bought one on Craigslist for my original Xbox 360, just so I could use the voice command feature in Mass Effect 3, and that was cool.
Oh, I thought you were going to say so you could dance with Han Solo.
No, I did not do the dance with Han Solo, but if you had the Kinect microphone or Kinect camera on the Xbox 360 plugged into your Xbox, you could do things like Garrus, overload, and he would do the overload ability on whoever you were targeting and stuff like that. So it's actually really cool. Instead of having to bring up the wheel to trigger people's powers, you would just target and then tell whoever was in your party to unleash whatever power it was you wanted them to use. That was cool and neat. Now, it's gimmicky. It's gimmicky for sure. And obviously, you don't have to have that in there because the game's been re-released twice since then, and that feature's gone now.
I mean, who really cared about it in the first place? Did it really even work properly for you?
No, it did. I never had a problem with it. It worked every time.
Never had a problem with it.
Never had a problem that I can think of with it. The only problem, okay, let me rephrase. The only problem would be if you did not use what the actual name of the special ability was.
You had to call it exactly what it was.
You had to call it what it is called on the scroll wheel or the power wheel, basically. And if you didn't, then it wouldn't trigger properly.
Sorry,
Other than that, it was great.
My foot.
I'm still waiting for something like the Kinect that works perfectly with a fighting game.
Yeah, good luck.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I got you. You got a PlayStation. Get the VR. Get the Creed game.
Yeah, so you already said VR. I don't want to wear a giant helmet.
My God,
I want something like the Kinect
Willie wants to wear a helmet.
that senses where you're standing and works with an actual fighting game to where your movements are translated into the game.
All right,
I know we're not
that?
there
Go to
yet.
your gym and actually fight then.
We're not there
Jesus
yet.
Christ! All these. Well, I don't want that.
the
I don't
one I'm
want
looking
that.
forward
I
to.
want this. I'm
That's
telling you,
what I'm
that Creed
looking forward
fighting
to.
game worked really well.
That's right.
And
Willie is our resident person here that has PlayStation VR. I don't think any of the rest of us do.
It's going to be a long time before I get VR 2, which is coming out next month.
That's what I was going to ask
this
about,
month.
was whether VR 2 was something you were interested in. Or
It
not.
costs more than a PS5.
So you're
What
not
the
interested
what?
in it, is what you're saying.
It costs $550, which is more than the disc-based PlayStation.
I paid less than that for my God of War Ragnarok version of PS5 that came with a game. Like, yikes.
Look, all I know is I'm just keeping my fingers crossed there's a Spider-Man version of the PS5 because I'll get me one of those.
Oh,
Just
there
saying.
will be at some
Oh,
point.
you mean like the console?
The console.
Like a
Yeah.
special.
It'll be
version
the
of it.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, and there'll probably be a super version that comes with Amazing,
It's gonna be
Amazing
in
2,
Venom
and
Black,
Miles.
you know it.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. Oh, if there's a Venom Black one, I might have to trade mine in.
I love consoles
If you can find
that are
it.
in darker colors.
Eventually
Listen,
you'll be able to find
scalpers
it.
are already on that fucking new the PlayStation 5 controller, the dual edge. Yeah, scalpers already on it, and that's already a $200 controller. Fuck that controller. I don't give a shit about that.
Fuck all these scalpers.
It doesn't vacuum my
all of them.
floors, And it better for $200 goddamn dollars.
I have a robot in my house that vacuums my floors. It's great.
What did it cost? $200?
I got it
Yeah,
on sale for $220, including the base that sucks up all the stuff out of the robot.
I see. I have to clean mine, but mine only costs $150. So yeah, my robot cleans my house for less than that controller.
Yeah, but my robot empties itself, so I don't even have to worry about it. I just take the case off the back of its dock and dump it in the trash. It's great.
I mean, if the Edge works for you, good. This is good. This is plenty.
Look,
This
let me put it this way.
For me. I don't need the extra back buttons.
Xbox has something similar, and the Xbox Elite controller I really like. I would never have bought one for regular price. The only reason I got it is when I bought my Xbox One X, they were doing like some crazy thing of if you trade in to buy an Xbox One X, then they were also taking a certain amount off of the Elite controllers too, because it was right before Elite Controller 2 came out. So I think I ended up buying it for like $75, the Elite Controller 1, which I was fine with. And it's pretty cool. I like it. I like being able to adjust the trigger pull on the triggers, on the shoulder buttons rather. That's pretty nice, especially for shooters. The caveat is if you're playing a game that is, let's say, GTA, if you adjust the trigger up so it's only like a half press, when you drive a car, then you only get half your throttle unless you shift it back down to normal. So you'll have to sometimes hit the switch real quick to put your trigger back to normal to get in the car.
I do know the Dual Sense Edge or whatever. I think that's what they call it. I do know it has like a adjustable trigger, so it does. But I think it translates to the game like how far down is 100%.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, that's what the play.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
They might have changed that in the Elite Controller too. Now that it's out, I have no idea, but I'm not paying that for it. I'm running just the Sonic Blue regular controller because the blue controller looks sick for the Series X.
I do know a buddy of mine I play games with. He already pre-ordered one or something, or I don't know what. He said, I just like the case. I was like, you bought it for the case. How often do you take your fucking controller with you when you leave?
Right.
Like, what do you need the case for? It was so stupid. Sure, whatever. He said, I don't really take it. I mean, if you do take it, I mean, I can understand it and it keeps it safe and whatnot. I did see the case even has like a little port that you can pull off that you can charge a controller in the case. I'm not going to lie, that's actually pretty damn smart.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You're going to have a case and it's usable for you?
The Elite 2 does that. Now, the thing that Microsoft did I thought was really interesting, I'm sure Sony's going to replicate it at some point with their Elite controller, is they have their Xbox Design Labs online where you could custom build controllers, different colors and things like that, and have them engraved. They also put the Elite controller in like that too, so you can make your own customized Elite controller and change the color of the paddles and stuff like that. And
it's a great feature that they use.
It's really cool because granted, it's not like you can customize this little quarter of the back. It's what color back panel do you want? What color front panel do you want? What color triggers do you want? It's a lot of customizability, but it's not everything being customized, but it's still really
I want
cool.
anime titties on mine.
Yeah, they won't do that. Sorry, but I'm sure you.
Fuck them then. I'm gonna put them on myself.
You could just go on Etsy and probably find someone that does it already.
Oh my god, I don't trust them. They make them too big.
Willie's very exacting when it comes to the anime he wants his controller.
I know Willie understood the word "too big." He's not sure how to respond to that.
No, I got ways to respond, but I'm trying to be
kind and courteous.
I was gonna say like Leonard Skinner, the Simple Man.
Yeah, that's true. And I think of Simple Man, I think Willie D. Nelson.
Thank you.
I didn't mean that derogatorily either.
I said thank you.
Willie's a simple man of simple tastes. He likes what he likes. He doesn't like what he doesn't like.
I hate eggs.
He hates eggs.
He likes anime titties.
You're living in a good world right now because eggs are really expensive, so you're saving money.
Perfect.
True.
I mean, not great if you're baking, though. I mean, you were baking at one point in time, and that uses eggs.
They use more eggs with that.
Yeah, it's true. I was baking this last weekend, which gets us to the final segment, what I'm into. It's when we share with you guys geeky and nerdy things we can get into because you may enjoy it yourselves. So I'll start first. I did some baking this last weekend, made me some chocolate chip muffins. They were delicious. I liked it. Little chocolate chip muffins. What was in them
other than just chocolate chips?
Chocolate chips.
That's it?
Eggs, oil, muffin mix. And then on the top, because I wanted to have like one of those sugary tops, I then sprinkled a little bit of just regular sugar on the top of the muffins before they went in the oven. Then you get that
granulated sugar.
Yeah, then you get that
Yeah, I've done
crystallized sugar crust on the top, and it's quite delicious.
Oh,
Not great
that's
for
good
you.
stuff.
It's
the
better on a
best
blueberry
muffin-
muffin than on a chocolate chip muffin, but still good.
Oh, hold on a second. I think the best muffin I ever made was a blueberry crumb cake muffin.
Ooh.
And I definitely did that. I had crumb little parts of it on top and some granulated
Be-
sugar. Ooh.
Best one I've made is orange cranberry with a little granulated sugar on top.
Oh, those are good too.
Oh, that's good stuff.
You're not talking about from box, are you?
No, that wasn't from box.
Because
Now,
I
if
know
I'm,
they have those in a box.
if I'm
They're
lazy,
not
I'll
bad.
do it
They
from
taste
box.
great anyway too.
Yeah.
I don't. What am I talking about?
I was lazy
Not
this
gatekeeping.
weekend, so I used a box of Krusty's chocolate chip muffin mix. Not Krusty the Clown, but
Oh, it starts with a K, right?
starts with a K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually have like good mixes for like lemon bars and key lime bars.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
brand.
Almost
Their
all their
lemon bars
mixes
are
are good.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're
lemon
not
bars.
solid.
Well, they're really
So-
damn good.
Welcome to All
Got 'em.
Things Good in Baking, as we talk about the baked goods we want to make on this show. Yeah.
No,
I
no,
haven't
no.
baked in too long. I need to bake some.
Careful, people will start coming thinking we're doing drugs.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
you guys
talk-
getting baked in
We're
here,
talking about
man?
making literal baked goods, everyone. Before anyone misconstrues, we're talking about making muffins and breads.
Man,
and-
I came
Damn
in
right.
here to
And
listen
cookies.
to them get baked, man.
I used to
but
make
I
a
guess
mean cranberry mini muffin. I need to do
Well,
those again. They're delicious.
I'm just waiting for
Maybe
Willie.
next time.
I'm waiting for the update to Willie's Twitch channel where we have Baking with Willie, where he live streams himself baking in the kitchen.
If I get a bigger kitchen, sure.
And I'm hoping that while Willie does it, he's got a cigarette hanging out the corner of his mouth while he's doing his bacon.
Oh no. Whoa! I take great pride in my baking and
I know.
cooking.
I know. I was
This
messing
stays
with you.
out of the kitchen.
I was joking.
Out of the kitchen.
Willie's just gonna be dipping during that time.
I would say the problem was that
okay,
Trish
now,
will.
how dare you defile my name
You're-
with dip?
You're from the deep south. I thought
The
there was
only
a
thing I
chance.
dip is French dip.
That's
I figured
fair.
Trish wouldn't let him do it because he always does it without pants on.
The only thing I dip is when I dip, you dip, we all dip.
Mm.
Dip, dip, hooray.
Put my hands on your hip, Chris.
No,
Dip, dip, potato
You'll
chip.
know my presence.
no, I don't want to. So I've been playing. Excuse me. I was doing some bacon. I've been playing Marvel Snap, and just yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, they dropped the friendly mode where you can play your friends. So I'm looking forward to playing Willie. Did get to
Whoa,
play.
it's not friendly at all.
Well, it
It's friend
doesn't.
battle.
It doesn't change your ranking. So friendly in that regard.
I know, I'm teasing you a little bit.
But it does show up on Marvel Snap Pro, so if you are using the tracker and you're playing on PC, it does record your matches.
I use Snap.fan, and it shows up on the Snap.fan website. So
I was yeah, they added in the friend feature, but yeah, I don't think the add-on sites have figured out how to divide off the friend battles.
not yet.
Yeah, because
It just
they
shows
don't
up
count
as a
towards
battle.
your raking in the game. But yeah, but they do show up on those tracking sites.
I've been
Yeah,
playing a lot
well.
of Marvel Snap. I like that game because I can pick it up, play for 10, 15 minutes, and then just walk away and then pick it up later and play for another 10 minutes. I like the quick, casual nature of it, and I've got a deck that, while it is not the simplest deck to play, I have a lot of fun with. It's a destroy deck that relies on using, oh my god, why'd I forget her name? Moon Girl to basically double your deck when you get death down to being a 0 or 1 cost. And then if you have 2 demons also, if you can drop 2 demons from Mr. Negative and 2 deaths in turn 6, you're going to win.
From
When-
the hood, not
it-
Mr. Negative.
Yeah, from the hood, sorry. And when you pull that off, oh man, it's such a good feeling. I had some
Yeah,
guys
if you can
snap,
add 18 to 2 lanes, that's mean.
I had some guys snap on me when I was sitting there with 2 6-power demons that cost 1 to play and 2 0 deaths. And I went, oh this guy's screwed. And because I was afraid of getting killmongered, I then had a Venom. I was able to take Venom in one of those lanes where one of those demons was and have Venom eat it. So they couldn't killmonger that one.
Nice.
They could have Shang-Chi'd it, I guess, but they'd played Shang-Chi earlier in the game, so I was safe.
Never pre-strike with Shang-Chi.
And then last night I was able, with the update, they kind of nerfed how the leader card works, which actually makes it a bit fairer to play, I think. I was actually able to pull off drop leader on the final turn and have it actually work like leader's supposed to now because I predicted correctly the lane they were going to play in. So they dropped a 16 Apocalypse down in the same lane I just dropped a Death down in. And then I had to the lane to the left of it, the leader, dropped the leader came out, and then whoop, I had an 18 Apocalypse also.
Nice.
It was great.
Most
I
times
loved
you
it.
see him play Dracula instead.
I figured that's what was coming, to be honest.
Maybe
But
they just
it-
didn't draw it.
Yeah, it was Apocalypse that came out. So I've been having fun with that. I've been playing with a bunch of different decks, and I'm going to try and find a way with the current deck playing is called Death to Leader, because it's all about playing Death or Leader at the end after you kill a bunch of stuff. I'm going to try and filter Wolverine back in, because I kind of like how they rebalanced Wolverine. I think he's a lot more interesting of a character now, especially if you can kill him multiple times.
Yeah, I got wrecked the other day by someone that could There's one of the spots where you could duplicate whatever card you put down, and they were dropping and then killing Deadpool over and over and over again. By the end of the match, he had, I think, 2 Deadpools that were at 32 power. It was impressive. So you get those characters that you can kill, and you get more points for them.
Still looking for Deadpool. Still looking for Deadpool.
There's going to be Snapdot Fan did a breakdown of the code basically to see the upcoming packs that are coming out. There's going to be like a $5 variant thing you can get that has Deadpool in it. So if you don't unlock it before then, you can pay your $5 to get gold and other stuff and get Deadpool.
Isn't it more than $5?
5 or 6, I think, is what that one was.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was 2,000, not 2,000 gold, like two.
I think this one was a cash one for Valentine's Day, is what it was supposed to be, but maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Oh, Deadpool.
Yeah, I think it comes out a little bit later on in the month.
I might be getting it wrong. There was like 6 different things they broke down of what was coming in this month.
I think they also released not the next season pass that's coming out this coming Monday, but the one that's coming out after it. I think they also data mined that too. I think it's going to be Nimrod.
Yes, I remember seeing something about that.
Wolverine variant, and I forget what else too.
Yeah.
So it'll be X-Men based.
Is Nimrod an X-Men? I don't know who Nimrod is.
Nimrod is a super high-level Sentinel. Yeah. Nimrod is like a fully sentient AI Sentinel that kills mutants.
And then I guess last thing I've really been getting into, or just keeping caught up on some of the dumb stuff I watch on TV and YouTube, is I'd posted on my Instagram, and I haven't had a chance to start it yet, but I do have a 3D printed copy of the Stargate Command wall emblem that you would see on the show, Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, all those things. And I was able to just buy some cheap Testors model paint. It's not super expensive, but it's enough to cover that. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks, is painting up my little 6x7 inch Stargate Command logo to put it up on my wall. It's just a fun little experiment, something I wanted to play with. The 3D printed thing cost $20, and I think between the brushes and paint I bought, spent another $25. So for less than $50, I've got something I can just screw around with for a little bit. And
it's a craft hobby. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I've got that coming up, and I'll take photos and put that on my Instagram. And as long as I can share things from Instagram on Twitter, you guys can find it there. But since the Twitter API is getting no more free access, everyone has to pay. I'm not sure whether cross-posting from Instagram to Twitter is going to work anymore. Yeah.
And they really are trying to get me to get rid of my Twitter, aren't they?
Right?
Damn it.
They killed
send your hate mail to me on Twitter while you still can.
While you still can.
They killed third-party apps for Twitter by killing their API access. They really cut down on the amount of time I use Twitter. Like, I'll do it when we're on the show because I can see what's going on with things, and I'll check it a couple times a day, but I don't really use Twitter that much. I do use Mastodon a little bit more now, which is kind of an alternative to Twitter, which I am still working on curating my feed to cover the same things. There's not much pro wrestling talk on Mastodon, but there's a lot of tech talk on there. So
Isn't it all done by one guy, too?
Well, he created Mastodon, then everyone runs their own instances of it, and the way the federated social media stuff works is those instances can cross over and stuff like that. So it's not as simple as you go on Twitter, for instance, and you're at South Porky. Say you were on Mastodon, you would have to pick a server, and you'd be at South Porky at, say, retro.pizza. Say you're on the Retro Pizza server. That's how people would tag you in things.
Yeah, which is what makes it kind of convoluted.
There is a retro.pizza server that I kind of wish I had joined to begin with, because that just makes me laugh. Retro.pizza. That's really what I've been getting into. Bachman, how about yourself? What you been getting into?
I've been seeing a couple of movies. Last night we watched The Quiet Place 2, which was a pretty solid sequel to Quiet Place. Krasinski's first directorial debut. His follow-up with the sound killing monsters from space, and his family on the run with the baby in the box. Cillian Murphy is awesome. Like, the guy just always kills it, and anything post-apocalyptic, he's great. Emily Blunt's fantastic as the mom in it. The daughter has a lot more to do in this movie, and is just a great actress. Really fun movie. And then we actually went out to the movies this week and saw Megan, the M3GAN, the updated TikTok Chucky robot killer movie. Which, yeah, really interesting, really well done. There's another Blumhouse production. Like, Jason Blumhouse is just killing it out there. They keep greenlighting good flicks. It's easy to see why they already had greenlit the sequel on this, because it's weighed way more than its budget while it's been in the theaters before it's even hit VOD yet. It was interesting watching the whole movie. I'm watching the main character, and I could not think of where the hell I knew her from. The main adult actress, not the little girl with the doll, but the one that creates the doll. And it's actually Ashley Williams, who is the girlfriend from Get Out. And so it was, when I realized that, I was like, oh, that's who it is. It's the crazy bitch from fucking Jordan Peele's first awesome movie. I was like, oh, no wonder I recognize her. And yeah, she's great in this as the aunt who gets custody of her niece and then basically builds this doll to like be her friend. Yeah, solid acting through the whole thing. It doesn't go crazy on the blood and guts and the gore. Like, there's some kills in it, but it's not, like Child's Play 7. Like, they're not there yet. It's like, okay, this could lead up to something like that. Because like we know, they've already greenlit the sequel. There probably will be, a Megan 4 at some point. But yeah, in the first one, they do kind of tone it down. I want to say there's like 4 or 5 kills. It's not too over the top, but like, the majority of it, like the world they created, all kind of makes sense. The characters are interesting. The AI like makes sense the way they wrote the story. It was a really fun movie. It was, it wasn't one like you have to go see in the theater, but it's worth it to like that crew put together a good low budget horror film. So it's worth throwing a couple bucks of them, letting their theater, box office budget go up a little bit to show like, because that's what tells people like, hey, greenlight these people to make a sequel because they made a good movie.
I do have one question about the movie.
Yeah.
Is it like in like the not so distant future, like 10 years ahead, or is it like supposed to be like concurrent with?
It's like today. Yeah, there's no, as far as I know, there's nothing that they mentioned about it being in the future. So yeah, it's someone that's working on, like the main actress Ashley Williams. She's making like these like weird Furby type toys that can interact and talk with kids and stuff, and like works off of a tablet where like it makes it fart and giggle and all this weird stuff. But in her spare time, she spent like $100,000 of the company's money to build this like full size AI doll that she had the idea for, and just hasn't gotten it to work yet. And then events happen. She has a reason to finish the doll, and then she ends up completing it. And of course, didn't quite get the Asimov 3 rules of the robot in there right, and so problems happen. But yeah, it's supposed to be, as far as I could tell, like current day. It's not in the future. But yeah, it was a really fun movie. Like
you could explain the movie like it's kind of like how Gandhi works in Civilization, where we made him so peaceful that the integer kind of reset back to the most aggressive.
Something like that. But yeah, no, it was an interesting movie and it was fun. So yeah, I was not disappointed that we paid money to go see it in the theater on a Tuesday night. It was a fun film. Other than that, we watched almost 2 seasons of How to Get Away with Murder. Which the first season was better. It's still kind of like, yet? I mean,
how to get away with it?
Hey Willie.
Oh, hey Willie.
Hey Willie. That's how I get away with it. And then Willie does the murdering.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, when a friend asks for help,
you just say, "Hey Willie." That's true.
If it's hiding a body or making a body, you figure it out and you help them.
Yeah. You move and then you make a body and then you move the body. There
exactly. Problem solved. Willie's got this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay show, not great. Still looking forward, hoping for something like, on that Alice in Borderland, that Willow level of like just great shows that have been coming out lately. How to Get Away with Murder is not that good, but it's something to kill the time. Like we've been watching like an episode each night. Did watch today, got caught up on the new Bad Batch episode, which brought back one of the coolest Jedi younglings from the Clone Wars days. Gungi did not die during Order 66. The I want to say the Chewbacca Jedi, but that's not the Wookiee Jedi. If you remember, he's the one that had the little kind of snarl tooth. But yeah, they brought him back for the new episode of the Bad Batch, which deals with Kashyyyk, and yeah, the fact that there are still some Jedi, other ones out there that Dave Filoni did not kill off because you didn't see him die on camera. Yep, he may get to kill them later. But yeah, so
let's get
Gunky's
Kid
still alive.
Fisto in here.
I was saying,
Let's get
that
fisted.
if you didn't see him die on screen, you don't know if they're dead or not. So yeah, it was cool that he brought back Gungy. It was a really fun episode. The Bad Batch is just killing it. Other than that, yeah, I've been working on. I started my second painting project. I finished my itty bitty D&D rabbit, the limited edition Haragon, and I finally put together my very first Chaos Space Marine. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. He's very tiny. But yeah, threw some gold on his horns. Got his funky ass chain sword and his laser pistol. And yeah, got just the first layer of red on him after I base coated it and covered it in black. But yeah, been having fun painting this last night. And I was sitting there painting. I started at like 7 or something. And my fiance came in and she's like, it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to bed. I'm like, what? I thought it had been like an hour. She was playing DBD. I was going to go play with her after I painted for like an hour. 4 hours later, she came in and told me it was time to go to bed. And then I also, I'm really getting into it because I keep contacting her nephew, who is a big Warhammer 40K painter, Smug Frost on Instagram. He just finished a giant, it's like the rat race. I can't remember what they're called, but it's a huge war wagon that has a giant bell on it. And like he did the whole thing in brass and it's patinaed and just a gorgeous, it's a miniature, but it's like this big. It's a huge one because it's a giant war wagon. And talking to him about like which army I'm eventually going to want to build, found out about the word bearers, which are the first Chaos Space Marines that kind of switched over to the Chaos side, and like who leads them, because red and black is one of my favorite color schemes. And so we were talking about that, texting back and forth yesterday. And then I actually did pick me up. I got my first issue of the White Dwarf. So I'm reading about the Warhammer. I watched a 20-minute YouTube video on the history of Warhammer, the timeline, how like it got from our 2,000-year-old society up to the 40,000-year-old society in Warhammer. Watched a 20-minute video on that by was it Archive Ian or something? It was a really cool episode. Just watching a lot of painting videos, a lot of like how to play Warhammer videos, learning about Warhammer, because like the different factions and all the way that they're broken down and how many different types of armies and stuff there are fighting all over this galaxy. It's just insane. It's kind of like diving into like Marvel Comics today, knowing nothing. Like there's just so much to learn. And I've also been listening to a podcast that he recommended called Adeptus Ridiculous, where they started the podcast with the idea of one guy had been playing Warhammer for 20 years and his buddy was on day one and knew nothing. And so the one guy is explaining like a different faction or a different race or a different type of soldier basically every episode. Really fun podcast. I've been enjoying the hell out of that. And that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, getting busy planning wedding stuff because, yeah, May's not as far away as it seems sometimes. So I got shit to do, which I was reminded of the other day. So, yeah.
It's never quick.
We got some stuff to put in place. I mean, we basically have basically the honeymoon's in place. We have our hotel. We have our flight. We still need to rent a car in Hawaii, plan some of the events that we're going to do while we're there. But yeah, we have a
I heard
place.
Willie was going to come be your personal driver.
Oh, all right.
I mean, sure.
He just needs a place to sleep and hopes you have a couch.
The foot of the bed, right?
If he's willing to fly himself to Hawaii, I'll let him sleep in the closet floor.
Sounds good to me.
There you go, Willie. The hotel's the most expensive part there. You're covered.
That's true. The VRBO.
I hope so. I hope I'd be covered in the closet. Pull down some random clothes,
throw some blankets over him so we don't
I'm
hear him
so
snoring.
cold in Hawaii.
But yeah, getting that stuff done because we have a place picked out. We know what we're gonna wear. We know who's doing the ceremony. Now we got to do like invitations.
Willie's doing it too. He's the minister.
No. Sorry. No. Willie won't do it. But you know who will?
No.
What have I done?
Yeah, that's totally your fault, Chris. You called forth this demon. You must exercise it.
What have I done?
Hello, my children. How are you today?
Reverend Willie's back.
How are you?
Well,
may the Lord's light bless you for all eternity.
That's it. We're eloping.
To wrap up the show, though, we need to go and see what one Willie Nelson's been getting into. Not Reverend Willie Nelson. What you been getting into, Willie?
Yeah.
Let's see. Watching Last of Us. Oh, I've been so excited for the show to finally come out, and it's so
good.
I would have done some changes with that last episode, like keep the start of it, but change how it ended. That's just me, because the story from the third episode, without spoilers, it takes place in the part of the game that's called Billstown, and it goes wildly off from the original game's storyline of Billstown. Not gonna lie, but did some good with it. I think could have been done a little bit better in other parts, but still a good episode. I think it slowed down way too much because, spoilers, it's mostly a flashback episode. The show kind of catch you up with exposition of Bill and his town. And so I guess I just wish I didn't like how much it slowed down. I was ready for it to ramp up a little bit because from the original game and the story, it doesn't slow down at this part. So I guess that's mostly why. And plus, I wanted more Nick Offerman and Pedro Pascal together. You got a little bit of it. I wanted more. The game, you get more of it.
He wants more.
Other than that, I got super excited for Dokapon Kingdom Connect so much. Also, my muscles are also done this week because I've been helping people move way too much.
So if you need help moving, contact
Shut the fuck up, Chris. Shut
Twitter.
the fuck up. Shut your fucking face right now, Chris.
Willie
got a big man in a truck ready to help you.
Willie will gladly help you move. That's what I'm telling you right now. You see Willie on screen right now. He's going to help you move.
Yeah, I'll move your balls to your throat.
That sounds uncomfortable.
Well, when you kick so hard, that's where they end up.
So Willie's going to help you guys move, not me. I'm just here to let you know about Willie's services.
I'm not above kicking you right in the dick. I'm not above that.
Man, that's uncalled for.
I don't give a shit.
Just because I said you're a nice guy that likes to help people move, and you'll readily help people if they contact you at South Porky on Twitter.
I'm going to disagree with you. I do help people move, but do I like to? That's debatable.
You like to help your friends.
When you word it like that.
You're a good person, Willie.
I like to help my friends, but do I enjoy moving shit for them?
Depends on what you're moving. Pillows? Sure. Bookcases? No.
You need help moving those big anime titties? All right, sure.
Call back.
Bring it back, baby.
There you go.
What else you
shout out to the to whoever works at my to Sheets that's nearby. I think he only works nights. I'm assuming it's a guy because he's got one of those car wraps of full-on anime girls.
Oh God.
Waifus out your tailpipe.
Just covering his car.
Pretty much. It's like a full wrap for it too. It's not just like a bunch of stickers that you sometimes see. No. It's full of kudos to him, man. The balls on that guy. Or girl. You can have balls too. I don't give a shit.
Like what you like.
Balls.
Exactly. Willie likes
you
balls.
You heard it here first, folks. Willie likes
balls. What else is... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember people saying Aquaman was a good superhero movie. No, it was... I put it right down there with Daredevil. And I mean Ben Affleck Daredevil. It's on that level.
Director's cut or non-director's cut?
It's so good. It was okay.
Daredevil director's cut's far superior to the original cut.
There's a director's cut?
Yes, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Much better.
Different.
More scenes, more cool stuff, more violent.
More cohesive story.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean it's not as stupid with what was the other guy, the Manta Ray guy? Was that the name? Manta Ray? I don't forget. The bad guy.
Willie, I watched Aquaman once and fell asleep halfway through, and so I really don't know what happened.
Black Manta. Okay. Yeah, that whole story was so fucking stupid. His father just shot a fucking grenade launcher. Are you not going to help my father? I know he just tried to kill you. But I know this is not your fault that he's pinned under here. It's his own fucking fault. But you ain't helping. I'm blaming you. I'm going to kill you because it is your fault.
I'm going to kill you.
What? Who wrote this? This lazy, stupid writing. Fuck you, whoever wrote it. Stupid.
Cool.
Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong, Bachman. Tell me I'm fucking wrong.
Oh, you're wrong. I mean,
you're
wrong.
How am I wrong?
You're wrong.
I see you laughing because you don't actually believe that.
It's your opinion, and you're wrong. Like you are about most DC movies.
He had a one-track mind. Kill Aquaman after that. Yeah. Nothing else existed.
He wanted to be the
So
toughest guy in the ocean, and he isn't. So
No, he wanted to
going
be
after
a
Jason
point
Momoa.
in space. He wanted to be one-dimensional. That's what he wanted to be.
now he's a comic book villain created in like the 1950s. Like
This
not the
story wasn't
greatest
written in
villain
the
ever written.
This story was written when, about, within the last 5 years, probably. So
Yeah,
there
well,
ain't no excuse. You
there's
can
a
update
reason.
shit.
There's a reason the DCU is being reset, and they're starting over.
Yeah, but he's also said, James Gunn has said, I believe, yeah, he is not going to go to be Lobo, which would have been a more better fit for Momoa. But no, apparently he's still going to be Aquaman. And that first Aquaman movie, he wasn't the problem. I'm not saying Momoa was the problem. It was the writing. That's what it mostly comes down to. When movies are bad, it's mostly the fucking writing's terrible. The dialogue that is written, people don't talk like that. Get out of here.
Yeah, weak ass shit.
I'm tired of shit. I want good movies. In fact, you know what's probably going to be a good movie to look forward to? Here's what I will be getting into. Renfield.
That looks funny.
It looks great. But other than that, I'm just going to say I haven't been getting anything besides getting back into Snap, Midnight Suns, and some shows. It's whatever. Who cares about my life? Get on. You don't care. I don't care.
We care, Willie. We care.
And
You're
now
our
I got
friend.
this motherfucker down here lying to me. Why are you lying to me?
You're our friend, Willie. We care.
You don't even like my presence when our beards touch.
Oh,
Oh. I don't know that our beards have ever touched, Willie.
Sadly, I think you're right.
I'm sorry.
One day.
I'm sorry, Willie. Maybe one day our beards shall connect. And we'll be beard
maybe
buddies.
one day when our lives have passed us by,
Beard
I'll take
buddies.
a look.
You already
and
have a
wonder
bell
why.
buddy.
You were always there for me. Well, you don't like Sugar Ray? What's wrong with you?
Many things. Many, many things.
All right, so I think you know what to do. Shut this show down.
On that
I was
note,
trying to
Willie's
show
right.
and shit.
We're going to shut this show down, but before we do, a friendly reminder, we do stream the show once a week. Our times are kind of varying right now, so just stay tuned to the social media to figure out when we're doing that. Right now, the best place to go is Twitter. If that changes, we'll let you know, because like we mentioned, Twitter usage is kind of going down for myself and Bachman, and I don't think Willie goes on there unless we explicitly tag him. Like, remember, tag Willie when you need help moving at South Porky.
I will see tags. I'll definitely get a notification like, hey, someone mentioned you. I'm like, all right, let me go see it. Now I'll respond to it.
tags work.
Text him hashtag help me move, and he'll be right there.
And I'll do hashtag go fuck yourself.
Hashtag help me move. That's what it is.
I hope-
want to see hashtag help me moves. Yeah.
I hope
That'd be
Deadpool
funny.
pegs you.
It's not very
Hey,
nice.
at least he's circumcised, I'm assuming.
I mean,
You're thinking about his dick now, ain't you?
Would that heal?
that's what I was trying to think is, would that heal?
If he was circumcised as a baby, would it?
I see. I don't know.
I don't know.
Would your
I mean,
body still
If
consider
he got
a wound?
earrings, would they constantly be healing and seal the earring like deathly in there?
I mean, and do your
Okay.
baby teeth come back?
Ooh, is baby teeth falling out considered a wound by your body?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's a part of natural evolutional design, so I'm going to say no, they wouldn't.
The earring thing, it would just stay in there. But as soon as you pulled
but
the
it would
earring
like
out,
close up right and have a death grip on, is what I guess.
yeah, it'd
Pretty
be right
much.
on. Because it'd be yeah. If you shove a pipe through Wolverine, his body would heal around the hole, but would be healed to that pipe until you pulled it out.
That would hurt.
Or
Yeah.
like Save the
And they'd have to
Cheerleader,
heal
Save the
it again.
World, like that. She had that pole in her heart, and she was dead till they pulled out.
Yeah. That was
the
Heroes.
first season, I think, right?
Yeah, it was season 1 of
Yeah.
Heroes. Back when it was good. Back when it was good.
Save the cheerleader.
I don't know.
Save
I
the
gotta
world.
rewatch it and see if it was actually
Season
good.
1 was good.
Or was it we were really wanting a superhero TV show live action, and that's
No.
just
Both.
what
That
we got?
First
was
season
that what
was
it is?
damn good.
Both.
I have to
It
go
was
back and
really
watch
good
it to get-
writing.
yeah.
I think it's on Peacock because it's an
It should be. It was
NBC
an
show.
NBC show.
Cocking around over there, boy.
It's all about the cock, Willie. The peacock.
Always has
That's
been.
where you get it.
Peacock in here.
Hey, I'm peacocking here. On that note, though, we are going to shut things down. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and I guess we'll see you next week. You guys got any final thoughts as we hit the button to get out of here? Anything? Anything?
Fuck the Snyder Bros.
That's all, folks.
That is all, folks.
Copyrighted?
I don't know, probably. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.